So we're being recorded. Okay, graphing basics. The first thing, of course, is knowing the points. Hopefully you know your points. I'm going to assume you know your points. That this is, well, of course it's going to act up on the recording. This is an X, this is a Y. I say 3, -2. That's the location. 3, -2 is right here. That is called an ordered pair. It's ABC order. That's what an ordered pair is. So hopefully that's the first thing, and hopefully everybody knows that. All right, so now we're going to do equations. The first type we want to do is lines. Now you need to be able to look at an equation and know what shape it is. So that's the first thing. You need to look at an equation and know what shape it is. So lines have an X to the first power and or a Y to the first power. Okay, so lines, you're looking for things that, equations that look like this. So AX plus BY equals C, or Y equal MX plus B, or Y equal a number, or X equal a number. And I want you to see that in each situation here, you've got only X's and Y's to the first power. Plain X's and plain Y's. When you look at an equation and it's got plain X's and plain Y's, it is a line. You need to know that. Do you think you could? Think you can learn that? If you didn't know it already. These are slanted lines. This one, Y equal a number, is a horizontal line. And X equal a number is a vertical line. So now, I'm going to do a couple of examples. Let's say we have Y is equal to 2X minus 3. And I give you 3 numbers to plug in. I give you 3 numbers. Technically, you can come up with 3 numbers, but you need to plug in an X and calculate a Y. Hopefully you can do this. I give you the X number, you plug it in, and give me the Y number. It doesn't matter what I give you, you should be able to do it and then use your calculator. I can give you any types of numbers. I can give you any numbers. I don't have to know any shortcuts. You know a shortcut? Great. You don't have to. Well, technically you can on the MyLab. The MyLab makes you plug in the numbers. Sorry. Because this is basic. So if I plug in a -2, I plug in a 0, I plug in a +2, I get -4 minus 3, which is -7, 0 minus 3, which is -3, 4 minus 3. Okay. Four minus 3 is 1. Okay. Plug in a number, get a number. All good? And then I dot these numbers. I'm going to erase my 3, -2. Trying to work. Erase my 3, -2. Try not to erase my accent. But it didn't work. Okay. All right, so I've got -2, 7, -7, -2, -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, -3, and 2, 1, and connect my dots, and it's a line. There we go. All right. Horizontal and verticals, these get confused. But if I were to do y = 4, think about if I were to put my little hash marks on my y-axis. Here's your trick. You never knew this. If I go to my y-axis and start putting my hash marks on them, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is at a y = 4. Y = a number is a horizontal line. So y hash marks are this way. That's how you remember. And if I were to do an x = a number, that's vertical, right? So x = 6. Again, if I put hash marks on my x-axis, what kind of hash marks are they? Vertical. X = 6. Vertical. All right, let's look at something on my lab to how this works. I'm not going to do all these problems, but I want you to see it. I know it looks like a lot.
How many questions are there?
I want to say around 16. This is one of our shorter tests. It's one of our shorter tests. So maybe 15, 16, something like that. It's not long. Okay. So here we go. Complete the ordered pairs. What kind is this? It's a line, isn't it? It's a slanted line. Do you know by looking at it that it's a slanted line? Yes, you need to. That's what I need you to do. I need you to be able to look at this problem and know what shape it's going to be. It's going to be a line. If I put in 3, I'm going to get -3. I'm doing this in my head. If I put in 0, I get -4. Plug those in. Okay, check that answer. Good job. Now, this is why you have to know what shape it is. You have to know what shape it is, because when you go to graph it, you click on here and it gives you all these shapes down here at the bottom, and you have to know which one it is before you click on it. Just tell the MyLab to graph. I have to know this is a line. If I don't know it's a line, then I'm going to get it wrong. I know it's a line, and so I'm going to click on my line tool right here. And it says if you highlight, if you hold it there, it should hover. Line tool. See, it says line tool. So I'm going to click on my line tool. And then as I come up here to my grid, notice here in the bottom corner, it tells me where my cursor is actually located, in case you can't see. And I'm going to find 3, -3. There it is. And I'm going to click. Then I'm going to move my cursor again, and you see what shape starts forming. And when I put my second number at 0, -4, then I have a line. And then I check my answer, and it tells me I'm right. So you have to know what shape it is before you get started. This one. What shape is it? Can y'all see it? It's a horizontal line. Very good. Y is equal to -9. How do I calculate with this one? You don't. If Y is equal to -9, don't take forever. Then Y is equal to -9. This is annoying. And Y is equal to -9. This is the grandma rule. The grandma rule. My grandmamas were mean. Y'all don't know the meaning of a mean grandmama. Y'all's grandmamas spoil you rotten. You never have had a mean. Anybody got a grandmama that whipped them before? All right, we got one mean grandmama in the bunch. Go for mean grandmamas, right? I know you're like shocked. Grandmama whip you?
Oh, she's Hispanic.
So yeah. What?
How did you start grandma with them? I was like, what?
Okay, so one of my stupid things to make you laugh and make you think about something other than math to ease your stress so you'll learn better. There is a logic to what I do. Okay. All right, this is Y equal -9. End of story. No back talking. Y equal -9. No back talking. If you back talk my grandmother, they'd slap you in the next week. Okay. Y, but no, don't care. What about the X? I don't care about the X. Y equal -9, end of story. So I called this the grandma rule. And literally, we're going to sit here and type in -9 7 times until we're annoyed by it. Okay. Then I'm going to pick out my graph. Thank goodness it has multiple choice. Y is equal to -9 is a horizontal line. I can blow this up like here, and there it is. I can also blow it up by doing a plus here if you want that one, but that's my answer. Choose my answer and move forward. That is Y is -9, a grandma rule. This one's Y is -2. It's also a grandma rule, but this time we're going to click on it. We're going to click a graph. And Y is -2 is a horizontal line. Now I'm just going to pick any 2 points. I only need 2. Any 2 points where the Y is -2. I don't care what the X is. There we go. All right. Same with the X. X equals 6. What kind of line is that? It's a vertical. Click on my line tool. X is 6, right? Where's X 6? X is 6. See, I have to watch my cursor. There's X is 6 there. Click it. Go straight up. X is 6 there. Check my answer. There it is. What kind of line is this one? Or what kind is it? Is it a line? Yeah. Do you know it's a line? Yeah. All right. It says use intercepts to graph. That's a concept. Do you know what that concept is? Well, I'll teach that then. Huh?
2 intersecting lines.
Yes, but intercepts is the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let me give you that concept. The intercepts these are points. The first point is called the x-intercept. And that is this point. This is the x-intercept. And this point is the y-intercept. Now, what that basically means is this one, I plug in 0 for y. Now, again, you're like, which one's the x, which one's the y, and how do you know? A, B, C order. ABC order. It's called an ordered pair, ABC order. So this is the X number. Plug in 0 for Y, calculate the X. This one you're going to plug in 0 for X and calculate the Y. So those are the 2 points. It doesn't give it to you in this format. It gives it to you in a vocab. So when it says graph using the intercepts, that's what you do. All right, let's move on to another shape. Lines, you've done lines all your life. We got to move on to another shape. My clock's running out. It's 9 o'clock and your alarm's going off telling you it's 9 o'clock. Which it's time to go do something, right? Time to get up. I don't know. All right, the next shape is called a parabola, also known as a quadratic. And obviously that's the quadratic formula. Quadratics have an X squared. How do you know if it's a quadratic? It has an X to the second as its highest power. And a parabola looks like this. So you have to look at it. You have to look at the thing, the equation, and say, oh, it's got an X squared, and that's the highest power of X on there. It is a quadratic. And then I plot points. So say I have Y is equal to negative X squared plus 6. And then I'm given points. Say -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. I'll plug in the numbers and get numbers. What about, I don't have to give you these numbers, right? You can come up with your own. Now I'm going to plug in -2, so be careful. Negative parentheses squared plus 6, negative parentheses squared plus 6. I think I know how to do this, Ms. Scott. I know. So watch you get it wrong. When you get it wrong, then you're going to have to go back and watch the video and figure out what you did wrong. Because you will. You'll get it wrong. Because you'll think you know it. And then you screw it up. This is +4 and then negative. So this is -4 plus 6, which is 2. Is that what you got? And we have 1. This right here is 1 and then stick a negative. So it's -1 plus 6, which is 5. 0 plus 6 is 0. This is going to be 5 and this is going to be 2. On the MyLab, you have a 3-point quadratic tool. So you just need 3 points to graph it on the MyLab. You have to click on the shape and then click on 3 points. Which 3? It won't matter. Shouldn't matter. This point right here is called the vertex. If it ever asks for the vertex, that's the one you click in. So read your instructions on how to do that. I'm running out of time. So -2, 2, -1, 5, 0, 6, 1, 5, 2, 2. There's my shape. Shape number 3. How many shapes are we going to get to? I only got 10 minutes. All right, what else is this? Absolute value. Absolute value is a V. Absolute value is a V. And it can be up, down, but it's a V. So when you do grab an absolute value, make sure you have a V. Make sure your picture is a V. So what does it look like? You might not have seen absolute value. There you go. This is the absolute value symbols. So when I plug in numbers, I'm going to plug in, let's say, -4, -2, 0, 2, 4. And let's see what happens. -4 plus 2. This is -2, and then the absolute value of -2. What is the absolute value of -2? Positive 2. Now, some of y'all knew that, and some of you are like, I've never heard of absolute value. I know that. Absolute value is technically how far away from 0. It's a distance. So how far away is -2? Well, it's 2 steps away. It's a distance, and that's why it's never negative. Ask Sarah's viewer, can you go in negative distance? No. What did he do? He tried to spin his wheels backwards in his dad's car to remove miles, thinking negative miles. That's logical, but it doesn't work because distance can't be negative. So now -2 plus 2 would give me 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. If I plug in 0, I'm going to get 2. If I plug in 2, I'm going to get 4. If I plug in 4, I'm going to get 6. And when I graph this, I know what shape it is. Know what shape. I see these bars. I know this shape. That's what you got to do. You got to look at it and know what shape it is. So then when I graph it, -4, 2, -2, 0, 0, 2, 2, 4, and 4, 6. Y'all see my V? There's my V. There's my V. Next, I know. Cubics. Cubics. X to the 3rd as highest power. Cubic looks like this. A cubic looks like this. It has an x to the 3rd as its highest power. So if I had y is equal to x to the 3rd minus 1. And I plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. These are my favorites. I'm going to get -2 to the 3rd minus 1, which is -9. 1 to the third minus 1, 2. 0 to the third minus 1, minus 1. Minus 1. 1 to the third minus 1, 0. And then 2 to the third minus 1 is 7. Scott, you say you're not hitting on all cylinders, but you did that pretty good. Very good, all right. Maybe not. -2, -9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. -1, -2. 0, -1. 1, 0. 2, 7. Goes. There's your cubic. It's not a line. Practice. Square root. These are arms. You don't have to, there's not a tool for this on, there's not a tool for this on my lab, it's all multiple choice. These are all multiple choice. And you've got all these little arms, you've got all these little things that look like this. These graphs like this. These are all radical graphs. Some of them are a little steeper than others, some of them are real flat. Those are all these little half curves moving to the side. They can go this way, that way. That's what a radical looks like. I'm not going to do one because I've got 2 minutes. And I still got to do circles. And then I'll be done. Okie dokie. Circles. Circles have both an x to the second and a y to the second. Okay, now I didn't give you a radical picture, okay, but there's symbols in the equation. You remember, you've got to look at the equation and know what shape it is, so you'll know which one of those buttons to click on the MyLab. All right. A circle equation has both an x and a y squared, and they're usually added. They're added. We will have some later where there'll be a subtraction to do it, and it's technically not a circle, but we don't have to graph it. The only ones we have to graph are the circles, so you're going to have an x and a y. So this is going to look, this would be an example of a circle. X to the second plus y to the second equals 16. That's a circle. And how do I know it's a circle? Because I see an x squared and a y squared. So I know it's a circle. This one is centered at 0, 0 and has a radius. Radius, I don't know anything about circle. J, you do, you remember this. Radius of 4. Where's 4 coming from, you think? Square root of 16. So when I graph it on MyLab, this is what MyLab wants you to do. MyLab is magic. Okay. MyLab is magic. It says, click the circle tool. Maybe I should just do it. You click the circle tool and you click on the center, and then you click on one point. Well, you got a point here. You click on that one. That's at 4. Radius is 4. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your circle. My lab does the same. I don't know if I gave you any with circles other than 0. I'm gonna look real quick. Yes, I did. Okay, so this one is a circle other than 0, 0. You take the opposite of that number. The center is going to be -1, -4. Center is going to be -1, -4. Oh, I didn't switch over. The center is going to be -1, -4. That's the center. I changed the sign, right? Change the sign from the problem. And that gives you your center point. And then the square root of 16 is your radius. So now when I go to my math tool, click on here. Oh. Go to my math tool and I click on here. Come on. Go to my math tool. Why are you not working? Because I go too fast and I don't know what I've done wrong. What have I done wrong? Computer. Tell you what I've done wrong. And now it's just really being a pain. It's really not responding. Okay. You go to the math tool and you click on the circle. Oh, I know what the problem is. It has nothing to do with my thing. It has everything to do with the stupid thing. I don't have my book. I'm already telling you this. -1, -4. So go -1, -4. And you click on the -1, -4. Then your radius is 4. So from here you go 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you click on it, and it's magically going to make a circle. Okay, if you can't figure it out, let me know. Sorry, I kept you 5 minutes over.